Ahmed Al-Sharaa has met with U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House. The Syrian leader pledged to join a U.S.-led coalition to defeat the Islamic State. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has also suspended comprehensive sanctions on Syria for 180 days. Trump described Al-Sharaa as a tough leader, while hinting further announcements could be coming soon.
Yeah, you can expect some announcements on Syria. We want to see Syria become a country that's very successful, and I think this leader can do it. I really do. I think this leader can do it.
Joining us now is Paul Wallace, Bloomberg's managing editor for economy and government in the Middle East and Africa. Paul, thanks for joining us. So it seems like this is relatively a positive situation for Syria to walk away from the White House on Monday. Walk us through some of the other announcements that we heard on Monday.
So ostensibly, he was there to ensure that Syria joined a global and US-led anti-ISIS coalition. That was sort of the main reason formally for him to be there. But obviously, the sanctions relief and that 180-day waiver was very important for Syria. It's a country that's been under decades of very, very strong sanctions from the US, European countries, and others. And Syria's desperate for them to all be lifted to help rehabilitate a country that's just been devastated by more than 15 years of civil war. So that was very important for Ahmed Al-Sharaa, and symbolically too. Yes, he's met Trump before yesterday. He'd met Trump twice this year. But I mean, this is a guy that had a $10 million US bounty on his head because of just a year ago because of his former links to Al-Qaeda. So it's quite stunning turnaround.
Especially if we consider some of the international trips that he's been on as well, Paul. What's the likelihood, though, we'll see some definitive announcements potentially leading to, supporting Syria's efforts to rebuild in the country?
So far, I think we've sort of seen a drip feed, mostly from states like Qatar. There's been a little bit from Turkey. Turkey is arguably the country that's sort of closest to Al-Sharaa and has the most influence on him. But beyond Qatar, there's also Saudi Arabia. But there's been nothing, no sort of wave of FDI announcements or no sort of wave of funding announcements. And I think a big reason for that is these sanctions. Syria is still under US sanctions, and for all that 180-day waiver, the Caesar Act, which is a deep and wide-ranging set of sanctions on Syria, it still exists. And I guess a lot of would-be investors and others will think, well, until the Caesar Act is repealed entirely and not just given, not just given a waiver, then they're going to be very reluctant to put their money into the country.